Mazramush Halahut Inc. Welcome to the part 2 of our series of Ed Gein, the Netflix documentary. I am excited. I hope you guys are excited because it's going to be something else. We just did a 52 minutes video on what? The first episode and a half. So yeah, so this is going to be quite complex. So I took a small break because your boy did pretty good. Did pretty good. Listen, we've been filming for 2 hours, so a little break was indeed not a luxury. But we're back and we're good to go. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, thank you. I just did the next episode. By the way, we have 2 more episodes to do, so I don't know how it's gonna go. And they're basically talking about and by then talk about the lamp, they're talking about the lamp. That means that they didn't know. This will not make sense if you don't watch part 1, by the way. It only makes sense if you talk about the lamp. It only makes sense if you talk about the bitch of Auschwitz. So we got a moth, and I like that the Ed guy is eating very poorly. Now I don't remember the moth thing. I don't remember. They got caught it. What they do with it, I don't remember. Because so that's kind of crazy, right? So he's making himself a meal. Then he asks his mom, by the way, that he's dead. Where is his ball? Now, ultimately speaking, we realize that her ball is the top of a cranium. He had a supper with his mom, which is basically here with him, and he basically has a conversation, which is kind of nice. This is so freaking cool because in her death, he finally standing up to her. It's really cool. It's really, really, really cool. Because you see here, how can I say this? Like, this feel like an Inception, right? Because when you see her with she doesn't have the sickness, she doesn't have the stroke, she doesn't have a face, inside of her face that's fucked up, right? So that's kind of cool. But when you look at it, you see that the bowl he's eating of is what? The skull. So because he got the skull, this is super, super, super important. By the way, I saw the picture of the normal guy, and it makes sense. Like, they chose the right actor for it. The real, not the actor, but the real person. So they go on a date, and it's a skating rink, right? And this is where you kind of see the sickness. So they go on a date, it's super cool. Now, they have, as they enter, he sees a girl, but instead of seeing her real face, he's seeing, I don't know, I don't remember what she is. I don't remember how he sees her. But he's basically seeing another person, which is again kind of cool. Okay, is that it? Is that it? Again, this is the 1950s, so this is quite popular. Okay, is that it? I want to get the specific moments where you see the girl, and it's not the same one he thinks. But I feel like I'm missing. Yeah, I'm missing something. Wasn't important because I'm only gonna watch this once. I'll do this. I'll do this. This is such a good series, but at the same time, you're not gonna watch this multiple times. I did watch Don't Fuck with Cat multiple times, but I did watch something else multiple times. This is so cool. We're talking about a date, and this is nice because he's talking with his wife or his girlfriend Adeline, and she's really understanding. So he talks about, and this is kind of cool because it's the date, right? So they're both fucked up, and Adelaide, what she does is she's kind of special like him, right? She has a interest into the morbid, the death, right? And with Ed, she feels like she's normal with him because she can talk about it. So they're on a date. They're talking about how he made a bowl out of the ashtray, and she doesn't believe him. And she's like, "Quit joshing me! You're joshing me! You're joshing me! You're joshing me!" And then what happened is she follows him home. Now this is super cool because you believe he's gonna kill her. See, the thing with Ed Gabe is I don't know about him. I don't know what he's doing. Technically speaking, did he kill anybody yet? Yes. He killed his brother. But it was an accident. Yeah. And the scene that killed it, right? They go in, and it's super cool. The scene where you go in, he goes in the apartment, and it's like, oh, Ed, this is disgusting. You can't live like that. And it's like, I don't know. Since mother has fallen sick, I've been letting this go. Mother is deaf, by the way. So what they do is, she asks him, can you have a light? Now this is cool because again, there's a possibility that Ed understands that what he's doing is not good at all. He doesn't light up the light, right? And then there's the mom that doesn't turn around, and she's dead. So she tells them, hey, mom, we got visit. Mom got visit. So then she doesn't know if he's dead or not. This is very weird. So she freaks out, and then she leaves. The second scene that we see with her, I don't understand. Like she's fighting with her mom. Yeah, so this is a very scary scene. And the whole time you think it's gonna kill Adelaide, but it doesn't kill her. And then she just runs away, which is insane because she's walking. And this is look at this. This is so cool. We know the mom is dead, but she's running away. And look at this. Such a beautiful, nice guy. She's dead. So there you go. And this is the super important part. So this is why I have such a hard time with Ed Gibbs. So you see this, right? You see this. And he's going. So this is a person called Mary. So Mary is a person that treats Ed like Ed. I call him Ed because it's Ed Gibb. So I call him Ed because EID is the same thing as Ed Gein, right? So it's to me it's so two small names that I put them together, which I don't know why I do that. So with Mary, she's specific, right? So Mary, she goes in and she's like, hey, what's the trouble? And he's like, oh, girl trouble. And it's like, I know some people that might want to spend the night with you, which is kind of prostitute, right? It's prostitution. So then Ed's like, how dare you say that? And she's like, do you want to finish your drink or want to leave away? And he's like, okay, well, I want to be here. And now he asked her where she was from. And we learned that they were German, which is possibly the reason why he was so feeling in tune with the bitch of Auschwitz, right? So then you imagine the scene where there's a ton of Nazis. There's women running around almost naked, and he's understanding that this is a place of sin. So that is, he shoots her. Now, ultimately speaking, this is kind of the hard part. So, in the first one, he kills the brother, and he's running away. And this one, he feels justified. Did he feel more justified by killing, or was it because she didn't mean anything to him versus the brother? First of all. Now, second of all, the mother was still alive to the brother. So, was he afraid of the mother? See, if he was afraid of the mother, he wouldn't act because the mother was alive. But now that she's dead, he doesn't have anything stopping him. Third of all, did he kill her because he was upset at Adelaide leaving and his mother, quote unquote, treating her like shit even though she's dead? It's a possibility. If that's the case, he killed out of anger versus killing out of desire. And because he kills out of desire, he wasn't going to do it again. If he kills out of anger, as long as he stays calm, he won't kill. Which is what you have to understand in there. So yeah, so basically he kills her, and the scenes are super good, super good. And this is kind of insane because you see the girl, you see the woman, right? I gotta say, I like the German accents. I don't hear a lot of people German. I hear a lot of Dutch because I watch Kid Boga. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I watch Kid Boga, but apart from that, I don't know much. So, what is really cool here is he's seeing the girl that he's been idolating forever. He's been like, okay, well, this is the person that I start killing for. This is the person that gave me the idea of making a bowl out of his skull, of making a lamp out of his skin, right? So, I have to be nice to that person. But then she's off like shit to his husband. And Ed is like, the first thing he says is like, you're gonna let her talk to you like that. So he's basically disrespecting her. And this is kind of cool. But this is the craziest thing also because this is so weird. Ed would let anybody talk to him like that. But then in this world, made up world, it's like, bro, don't take that. And to me, this is weird. See, with Jeffrey Dahmer, I could have understand. With the clown, John Wayne Gacy, I could have understand. But with Ed, it's so different. It's so peculiar, right? So now enter this, and this is a super important characters. So this is kind of insane. So we have somebody named Nate. So he's an homosexual, right? And he plays Ed, and you see him dress up as a lady. Now, what I didn't tell you is in another episode, Ed never had the idea of, and this is gonna be, I'm gonna get canceled for that, but apparently, in Germany, during the Second World War, there was a lot of there was the beginning of the psychology of transgenderism. I think that's the word you call it, right? So a lot of people say that the book that was being burned. So the Nazi, what they did is they burned books and humongous fire. But this was knowledge. So a lot of people, they said, well, because they were against the Jewish people, it could be the Torah, right? Then a lot of people said it's okay. It was a book about general knowledge, right? Then a lot of people say this was a transgender book of the psychology of, right? So this is what's believed. Now, ultimately speaking, right? This is after the war. So the Adelaide, from the same guy that gave her the comics of the Bitch of Auschwitz, she received an article, and she's showing two pictures of the same person. One's a man, one's a woman. So then she said he was born a man, but he became a woman. So this is the idea that came in the mind of Ed Gaines, that transsexual existed. Now, with Nate, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, the actor that plays him, the idea is something that's knowledgeable. So, also, this is important. Like Ed, this came from here because he didn't see it. For Nate, maybe he saw it and he said, okay, well, I feel like that. I feel like this is my case. And because I feel like this is my case, I associate with that, or I relate to that, and this is possible. This is possible because I saw people do it, right? So he plays something. Now, the actor itself is going to be super important because he is an homosexual that is very repressed. Give me a sec. Yeah, we went to the hospital a couple of days ago. We got a bruised tailbone from a bad fall on bike. I fell directly on the backbone. So the guy, and he actually goes to see a shrink and said, "Hey, I know that I'm gay, but the act of sexuality with another man is disgusting to me, right?" And even after that, this is kind of crazy because with Alfred Hitchcock, which is going to be producing the movie Psycho, again, this is the insane part. He produced a movie called Psycho, but the Psycho is a book. The book is influenced by Ed Gein. So by Ed Gein. Now, ultimately speaking, is it a game of telephone? You said this to this person, they said this to me, and I said this to another person. Is that the case? Because if that's the case, it's completely different, right? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So again, he has his boyfriend. He wants to dress as a woman. He said, "Hey, this is supposed to turn you on," and the other guy is like, "No, I'm gay. I want to see men, and I want to see a man dressed as a woman." So this is insane because you realize that the guy doesn't know if he's transsexual or gay. So we talk about Alfred, right? And he has his reservations. Like, I don't know if I can play the characters. And the guy is like, you know what? You and Ed had a lot of common. You're both weird. But Alfred Hitchcock was such an asshole. So, you know.
Yes, I'm afraid I've cancelled rehearsal for Jenny today. There's something else I'd like to do first. There's something I need to show you.
Okay. I don't remember any of this. Holy shit! Yeah. So what he does here is he's on a set, right? And he show the actor that's supposed to play Ed the complete house of Ed. So basically a lot of face that are lamps. He has drawers full of pussies, literal pussies, and he shows him, and the actor is like, "Holy shit, this is kind of messed up." You see, look at this. You can see the cranium, right? Yeah, so there you go. So that's it. So he shows them a drawer full of vaginas, which is pretty insane. So it's like, why am I supposed to do that?
These urges do not exist. This transforms these urges into secrets we must hide, and these secrets make us sick. Gein had a secret.
Gein.
A sexual dysfunction he could not express, and his inability to express his version of the sexual act turned inwards and transformed into sick. Schizophrenia.
This is so good, because this is again, they took this guy who was a monster, right, and he really studied him, and Alfred Hitchcock has an understanding of him, and instead of being disgusted, he's gonna make a movie out of it. Alfred Hitchcock himself was kind of disgusting. Now, ultimately speaking, this is the portrayal they do, so I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's the truth. I have no clue. But this is the portrayal they decide to do. So if you'll excuse me if I'm not correct, but just the understanding how insane it is, you know. And you literally see in preserve pussies, which is kind of nuts.
Thankfully, that is none of your concern. Leave the things to me. I wish to change things, reflect how we are, not how we live.
And this is amazing. Here he says, like, I want to change the cinema to show what is a real human. And he was obsessed with the Second World War. It's like, how can we go that far? Maybe we're creatures that are disgusting.
Some individuals are baser than others. The polite society burdens us with the fiction that these urges do not exist. This transforms these urges into secrets.
So then, what he says here, right? He says about schizophrenia, which is a sickness, genitalia, which is, I believe, is I don't feel like these genitals are mine, and necrophilia, which is a sexual attraction to people that are dead. Ugh.
Like you said, we all do. Don't you?
Look at this. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Look at this. Look at this. Talking to him, and Ed is in the background.
Like you said, we all do. Don't you?
Isn't that nuts? The actor that play Ed is amazing.
I had to ask you, Anthony. What do I think?
You hear what he said? I had to catch Anthony, you're like him. Which is crazy in itself. So then we have the movie. And this is super nice because they're showing the actor who played Ed have his own personal issues and own personal drama. Now, I don't know where this is going to land because I am not that far in the series, but he's basically having problem playing a character. So this is super nice. These are cops, right? And they hear that the bar owner was killed. Now, this is also super insane because, technically speaking, the brother was killed, but it made it seem like it was a burn. The mother died out of a heart attack. This is the first that he killed. He killed on purpose. So now the police is involved, and the police, they get one guy, right? And they're talking to this one guy, it's like, hey, what happened here? And this is super, super, super insane because it's like, oh, I saw a truck, and this is Ed Gein truck. It's gonna be the season 3, episode 3 starts, which we're gonna see. For that, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm at 15% batteries. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop. So we see here, and we see the actress, which is Adelaide, right? She played Adelaide. And then what we see is there's a shower scene, and he basically kills her. He takes a knife and he kills her. Now, why is this scene important? Because this is a shower scene, but this is Ed Gein himself. And this is also super good because you see what he's seeing, what he's looking at right now, right? He's looking at the sphere, the scene here. There's also a secret compartment where you can look at people getting changed. So he's a pervert. But basically what he's saying is he's looking here the way Ed was looking in the shower. And this is, if you guys remember, this is his wife. And that's saying, like, I'm not saying for this. Listen to this. I like the screaming.
Yes,
He called his wife mother. Yeah, this guy is something else.
you can keep it.
And basically what he sees is he's looking there, and people are running away from the movie. And you got the guy's puking, and he's enjoying it because like I did that, I did this, I went the step above. Now, ultimately speaking, I kind of understand where he's coming from. Do I agree with him? Absolutely not. But I kind of understand where he's coming from. So where he's coming from is kind of complex. It's a guy that wanted to make movie, but the way nobody else did it before. Oh, you don't have to get up, bro. You just have to be careful. I'm gonna do episode 3 right now. Fuck it. We're done for today. Now we were done for today. And I would have done a lot of freaking videos. That's good. Proud of myself. We had a bad day today. Fought a lot. There you go. Okay. 20%. Okay. Cool. So why I understand Albert? I think he's fucked up in the head. I think he's a fucking monster himself. But I understand wanting to be the one that changes everything, the one that does everything. And in the third episode, they make this new role, this new genre, which is sexual horror. And Alfred is like, I hate it, right? Then you watch a movie, it's like, no, I kind of like it. So there you go. We have season 1, episode 3. I don't know if I'm saying season 1 because it probably was season 2. 3, The Babysitter. This is super important. So at first we see a scene of the past. The first scene we see, the first scene you see, right? The first thing we see a flashback of the father being a complete mess and hitting the mom, right? Which is why the mom tells Ed, never hit a woman, never touch a woman, right? The perversion, the disgust that she feels toward Ed is because of her father. And this is super nice. So you gotta see, this is the first scene, by the way. So you see somebody else cleaning, right? And you see, because you see the dress, you see it's a woman, right? But you see the end and you see there's a man. When you see somebody that you're not sure if there's a dude or a girl, check the ends. Men naturally have larger ends than women. So yeah, so you're dancing, and when you look, you see Jason? In 3, 2, 1. 3. That's the face of his mom. And the police is knocking, and this is insane. Oh, it's Eddie gang. What Ed? Is it Eddie or Eddie? Is it Ed or Eddie? I don't know. So basically, you enter the police, and it's like, hey, where were you that night? Did you know that Mary is dead? And this is kind of crazy because Ed is calling his mom and say, hey, mom, you hear something about it? And by the way, you know what's insane? I want you guys to look at this guy, right? I want you guys to look at this guy. Look at this guy right here, okay? I want you to pay attention to his face.
Did you see Mary Brady?
You know who that is? That's the guy from Shameless. That's Tony from Shameless. Tony from fucking Shameless. Insane. So yeah, so they're questioning him, and this is kind of important because he's gonna be part of it. He's gonna be part of it's gonna be part of an investigation. So also the second scene is important. Second scene is the same milk bar that it was. Now you see the kids, and he's pushing the bubbles, and this is the first interaction we have with a kid and Ed. How did he feel towards it? So and it's not specified because this episode is called The Babysitter. Let me guess. This is not enough storage. Is that it? That's not enough storage, right? No, we're good. What a surprise. What a surprise. Look at this. Look at what they did to Boogie. Boogie. That's fucked up. That is so fucked up. I thought I had no, it's just Google that's talking to me about my new feature on my device. Bullshit. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. So next we have another Adelaide and Ed sentence, and this is super cool because she's showing what I was talking about, the picture of the man and the woman, right? Talk about the operation, how they cut off his penis, they give him full breasts, and it's like, hey, I have a surprise for you. So what he does is he goes to a coffin, right? And this is amazing. He digs up grave to find a ring, that he wants. So instead of going to the jewelry shop, he get the ring. So they go to the restaurant. The two of them have wine for the first time, which is a cute scene. Then he gives her the ring. Now it's a beautiful ring made of diamond and emerald. And he said, and she tells him like, hey, it's too big on me, right? It's too big on me. And because it's too big on him, it's too big on her, the ring. He says something along the lines of, yeah, the lady who had it bigger thing than you. But she's like, what you mean? Oh, the seller, I mean. So again, quick on his feet, pretty good. They go to a graveyard. And I had a fight with my father today because he was pissed that I talked about him in a video. I talked about him in a video. You know what the name of the video was? To my parents that I love. I made a video called To My Parents That I Loved, and he got pissed at me for doing that. Yeah. So they go to the graveyard and he asked her to marry him right there. And she says yes. So they're gonna fuck. But then they're fucking next to the tomb of his mom, right? And he's like, okay, well, I can't do it. But then she's talking about, hey, I'm not comfortable. And she's like, hey, I don't understand you. And then what she says, and this is what I like about Adelaide, because this is when psychology was a hot and bother subject. So she's like, hey, your father wasn't around much, so the idea of being a father scares you. And that's normal. So then Adelaide, what she does, right, she goes to see one of her friends, and she's like, hey, Ed would like to offer his service as a babysitter. So then what it is, why is that so important, is because Ed, being a babysitter, will be around kids. Being around kids will make him feel like a father, and being a father or making him feel like a father will make him feel like a great husband, which means that they're going to start fucking and have kids of their own. Sounds pretty simple. So she goes in and she's like, hey, what is your obsession? And this is super cool because his wife is next to him, and he's basically looking at the tits of the boss, I guess you could call it like that. Yes. So that made me laugh, right? So there you go. She hired him because I put in a good word, and she's like, hey. So then he babysit the kids. So babysitting the kids is a scary scene. It's messed up. It's really messed up, right? It's fucking scary. So he babysits the kids, and he's like, hey, what do you want to do? It's like, hey, our old babysitter is much older than you. And she's like, well, and he's like, well, she's stupid. She's a dummy. Can you do tricks? And he's like, well, I can do tricks. And she's like, okay. The kid's like, let's do a trick in front of us. And Ed's like, no, I don't have my tricks with me. And Ed goes in, and he doesn't have his chick with him. What he does is, which is kind of fucking cool. If I have to say. So, and I forgot to do something that's important. Okay, we have time. I have time today. I have a pimple here. So he goes back home, right? And then they're scared of him, and he does some trick, which is very scary. So what he does is he hides a bone in a bowl of 3 skulls, right? And he moves them, and he moves them, and he moves them, and he moves them, and he moves them. And then the kid is saying, hey, how come what is that bone? Like, oh, it's a finger bone. The kid's like, no, it's not true. So then what happened is he traded the bone for a literal fingers. And he's like, and the kid doesn't believe him. So then he says like, hey, I have another trick. I can have a head on me, and I can take it off. So what he does is he does his shirt like this, right? And he has a head here. So then he's walking, and the kids say, this is a stupid trick. We can tell it's not a real head. And then Ed takes the head and puts it here, and he gets mad, and he opens, and then you realize that he's wearing a face as a mask. So this is kind of super scary. This is kind of creepy, and it's beautiful because they show how much it is. One of the show's biggest mistake, in my opinion, is it's hard to see just how far he's going. It's really hard to see. So then the kids are afraid to go back home, and they tell the parents, and then the parents like, hey. The father gets pissed, and it's like, I was just joshing. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just joshing. And then the father believes him. It's like, don't get close to my kids again. So then we have the babysitter, the real babysitter, and Eddie follows her, and Addison Rae from TikTok. Kind of crazy, isn't it? And then she goes in and she's like, hey, you took my job. It's like, what do you mean? I'm a babysitter. It's like, yeah, that was my job, which is not true. So he wants to kill her. So what happened is they go to bed, which actually Eve follows. Now, ultimately speaking, she has, I don't remember what she has, but she's missing the function of her leg, right? So there you go. I don't remember if he kills her. So I guess he does. I guess he does. This is so sweet. But this is kind of crazy, right? So he killed the babysitter. He said, hey, it worked. I'm ready to be a dad. I'm a good babysitter. And it's like, I'm ready to get married. And she's like, oh. And you see her, look at her acting. Look. Insane, isn't it? So then she's excited because she has her husband finally. And there you go. So basically, Adelaide, they say, hey, he wants to marry me. And the mom's like, no. You see his mom, he's the same way. And his mom is fucked up. So he's fucked up too. Which is kind of crazy. So she moves in with Ed, and she started seeing Muff around, right? Then she started cleaning around because his house is a mess. So again, he tells her that his mom is asleep. He doesn't tell her that she's dead, but she's cleaning. And Ed is a fucking genius because what he does, he leaves.
Is he Adeline, mother? Eddie's friend?
And there you go. And what he does is crazy. He pretends like he's going away. Then he come back and look what he does. He's pretending like he's her. Then she turns around and she has the mask of the mom. Which is kind of insane. Look at this. Mrs. Gein. Look at this. Just for you to realize that it's a fucking movie. It's not the truth. And they constantly do that. And most of the time they'll show you like, hey, this is real. Right? But no, it's a part of a movie. And look at this. So now everybody's leaving and everybody's disgusted. So the next scene is also super important. You got the actor that plays Ed, right? And he's going in with his gay lover and his theater. And his gay lover gives him a blowjob in a theater just for him to break up. And then he goes to the shrink, which is the second time we see, right? Talk about sodomy and talk about a lot of stuff. Oh, berserk. I don't know if I had it. Oh, thank God. Thank God, bro. Imagine if I had the porn thing. So this is insane because the guy, when he talks about feeling straight, and when he talk about being with a woman, you literally think about, hey, he's with a woman. And they talk about how this hard work is not in vain. It's like, what hard work? And it's like, well, maybe I'm cured. So he feels sick. Now, ultimately speaking, that's what Albert was saying. He was saying, oh, we repress our urges, but they're part of us. So what he was saying is happening, right? You think he's sick, which is insane. You love what you love. Fuck that.
And what is it they do want?
Well, Universal will be capitalizing the success of Psycho.
A movie I have already made.
Several years ago.
Alfred, it very much like the idea of you going further into, well, they're calling it a new genre. I don't like it.
Look what they're saying.
I'm calling it...
What? What are they calling it?
Sex horror. That's what they're calling it. They don't want Dracula anymore. They want the rape of the vampire. They want the bloody pit of horror.
I hate that. I don't want to do that.
That's fucked up. That is so fucked up. So yeah, so then he's against it. He's really against it, right? And then what he's saying is there's a new movie that she didn't produce that is a genre. Just go watch it. And Albert watched the movie, and this is kind of an insane part because it was a movie. You can kind of see that he's clearly bored, but then he looks at people around him, and they're loving it. This is the important.